It's not possible. I didn't say it would be easy, Neo.
Good morning. My name is Pete Freeman. I'll be your chair today. Alongside me will be Mr. Prater. He will be on the board, and Ms. Ledoux. Today's hearing, let's let everyone know we will allow 3 speakers in 3 minutes. I'll warn you when you get close. If you're about to finish up, I will let you finish up. But, we have to do that because of time constraints. First thing I would like to do is get headquarters over here to introduce themselves.
Jason Thompson, sure, Parole Williams,
Francis Abbott.
Carolyn Stapleton, board member here, observe.
Okay, the process we could do today is I will read some information into the record and ask you to verify it. Then we'll conduct an interview. Your case has been assigned to Ms. Ledoux. She will be the leader on the interview. At the end of the interview, we'll be allowed to ask questions. Also, he gets to put on his presentation from the defense and the victims, if we have any victims. I would like for the people here on his behalf to introduce yourself, please, and note to me if you're going to be speaking or not. Go ahead, ma'am.
Abigail Floresca on behalf of Warren Harris from the Loyola Law Clinic.
Okay.
I will be speaking.
And we're going to let you speak last. We'll let the offender speak second to last. So you will be the last one to talk. Okay? Ma'am, sir, your name?
Oh, good morning. My name is Stanislav Moroz. I'm an attorney. I'm just assisting Ms. Floresca, but I won't be speaking.
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
My name is Roberta Harris. I am Warren Harris' sister-in-law, and I will be speaking.
Okay. Is your name Roberta Harris?
Roberta Harris.
Yes, ma'am. Okay. Ma'am?
My name is Bernadette Fox. I'm a friend of the family and I will not be speaking.
Okay, Ms. Fox, that'll be noted. Sir?
My name is Darren Riverdale. I'm a friend of the defendant and I won't be speaking.
Okay. I see we have the parole project on here. I'll call you at the proper time for you to speak. Also, with the people at Angola, the staff first, would you introduce yourself?
Deputy Warden Tracy Falgood. Reginald Latin. Classifications.
Carmen Shipley, offender records.
Jody Sturgeon, program consultant.
Are there anyone there, Warden Falgood, to speak on the inmate's behalf?
No, sir. Family's on no video for you.
Okay, great. With those of you on video, would you like to identify yourself? And you got to take it off of mute.
Good morning, sir. Giacomo Castrogiovanni. I'm a staff attorney for Loyola Law School. I'm here for supervision of Ms. Abigail Floresca, attorney for Mr. Harris, student attorney for Mr. Harris. And I will not be speaking.
Okay, sir.
Good morning. Good morning. My name is Brenda Palmer. I'm Warren Harris' sister, and I will be speaking on his behalf. Thank you so much for this opportunity.
Yes, ma'am. Sister speaking. Okay. Anyone else?
My name is Katasha Harris. I'm Warren Harris's niece, and I believe you've met your 3-person max.
That was on, yes, ma'am, we have. Let's see, the attorney doesn't count, and we have 2 others speaking. We have, okay. Okay, but we will note that you are here for support. Anyone else? Okay, Mr. Harris, won't you introduce yourself and give me your DOC number for the record?
My name is Warren Harris. My DOC number is 91119.
Okay. Mr. Harris, I'm gonna read some information for the record. Please stop and correct me if you think anything is wrong. Okay, sir?
Yes, sir.
Okay. First off, you've said your name and your DOC number. You're serving a life sentence on 3 murders. You were sentenced in 1977 to life sentence. And at the time, I think you were 16 years old.
Yes, sir, I was.
Okay. All right. Your case today has been signed to Ms. Ledoux. Please answer any records that she may have.
Good morning, Mr.
Any
Harris.
questions?
Good morning, ma'am.
Mr. Harris, I don't know that I've seen anyone as diligent to try to get their GED as you have been. How many times have you taken the GED class, the testing?
Ma'am, it has been maybe 3 or 4 times.
Yeah, and you worked hard to get that. You just received that last year?
Yes, ma'am.
So Mr. Harris, you were a juvenile lifer, and were you resentenced, or were you just given parole? Did you have to go back to court to be resentenced?
I was resentenced, yes, ma'am.
And in what year was that?
I believe in 22, ma'am. I'm not certain. You may have to speak with my attorney concerning that.
I would like, yes, ma'am, would you confirm what date he was resentenced?
2021, I believe it was in.
That's okay, just the year's fine,
Okay.
2021. Okay. The reason I'm asking that question is because although you've had 128 write-ups,
Yes,
the
ma'am.
last one occurred in 17.
Yes, ma'am.
It was 4 years before you knew you had an opportunity maybe to get out. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
So what happened? What flipped the switch in 17 finally? Why did you stop having problems in prison in 2017?
I stopped being around negative individuals, ma'am, and allow myself to only affiliate with positive individuals who were doing positive things. I engaged in my fellowship regularly. That took up most of my time.
Well, I note that you did get involved in faith-based activities around that time.
Yes, ma'am, I have.
You started engaging in a lot of the opportunities in that particular subculture of the prison, the faith community.
Yes, ma'am. I come from a Christian background. My family has always been spiritual believers, and I continue.
Well, are you restarted? Because
Yeah.
looks like you weren't in the right track for many years there.
I was not. No, I was not, ma'am.
I read the background of the case itself. Pretty heinous crime.
Yes, ma'am.
Crimes.
Yes, ma'am. I take full responsibility, ma'am.
Okay.
I really do. And I regret that had ever happened.
So you have taken victim awareness?
Yes, ma'am, I have.
I want to hear in your own words, Mr. Harris, why should we consider letting you out?
I have rehabilitated myself. God has allowed me to reevaluate my life and set out on a positive course. That positive course had led me to obtain several certificates in healthcare provider. I'm skilled at landscaping, as various other trades, janitorial, and at present I am a academic GED literacy student. And I feel that I will be able to contribute to society in which the community I will live if given the opportunity.
Were you personally aware of any of your victims, or were these chance happenings? Do you know
No,
if
ma'am, I wasn't familiar with any. No, ma'am. I was not.
in the record, it indicates that you haven't had family visits, but I do see that you have your sister and a niece. So you've been having
Yes.
visits pretty often at the
Ma'am,
state penitentiary?
only when they are able to. My baby sister, whenever she can, she's here. My niece, whenever she's available and has the time, she will come also.
What is your greatest challenge looking at possible parole? Do you have any concerns, or what is your greatest concern if you get out?
Ma'am, I have a few nephews. I have one that I constantly pray for, and I wish to reach him before anything happened to him or before he winds up in prison. Not just him, maybe a few of his friends. You know, I would like to reach him.
I'm gonna reserve the right to come back and ask more questions later, but at this time, Mr. Freeman, I'm gonna turn it back over to you.
Mr. Prater, you have any questions?
Yes, sir. Mr. Harris,
Yes, sir.
you pled or you were found guilty of killing three.
Yes, sir.
Were those at different times? Tell me about the time in between each.
It was different times.
How long was it between each one? I'm trying to understand the crime. I don't care about the gory details.
According to the records, it was from February 13, I believe, until April 6, I believe.
Okay, so length of time. And there was a fourth murder. Did you commit that one too?
I was found not guilty. I was found not guilty, sir.
Okay. Did these all take place at the same place?
The same area, within the same area, sir.
Okay. And I'm trying to distinguish and find out. It sounds almost like a serial killer. Okay. I mean, that's with my background, that's what it sounds like. So what was the MO of this serial killer?
I understand. I was a young juvenile, teenager, no sense of direction, a high school dropout, swallowing all kind of pills and anything you could think of at that time, you know. And I just saw it happen, and I just wasn't in the right state of mind, sir.
Yes, I mean, did you set these murders up in order to rob the people?
No, sir. It was not a setup. It was not a setup at all.
Then why didn't you?
I was in need of money to support the drugs I was using at the time. I became affiliated with some of the victims, you know, and was asked to accompany them to their home. And at the time, when we entered the home, I robbed and killed those men. And I regret it. And I'm so sorry every day. I regret it.
That's all that I have. Thank you, Mr. Harris.
Okay, Mr. Harris, I just have one question.
Yes.
What have you done to address your drug problem since you've been in Angola?
I have taken drug courses, living in balance, step 1 and 2.
You plan up when you get out?
Sir?
Do you plan on following up when if you
Yes,
were
sir.
to?
Yes, sir. I will certainly follow up.
And I'm sure Mr. Myers will have some stuff to say about that when he speaks. Okay, I have no further questions. So now we will go to the family. First, Roberta Harris, sister-in-law.
That's me.
Okay, you want to speak first?
Oh, on behalf of Warren, I just wanted to.
You can go up there to the podium, ma'am.
On behalf of Warren, I am his sister-in-law. I met Warren through his brother David. I'm married to David. Met Warren in '76 when his brother and I met. When I met Warren, he was this kind and gentle person. He stayed right next door to the grandmother, Miss Julia. And Warren was always taking care. He looked out for her. He made sure she had everything. He made sure his mother had everything. He made sure his siblings had everything. But like he admitted, with the drugs that he got a hold of too, it just did something to his mind to just make him do things out of the ordinary. But he was raised in a Christian family. His grandfather was a minister. His mother sang in the choir. They were required to go to church on Sunday. But like you said, once he got out into the streets and those drugs got a hold of his mind and his brain, he dropped out, and then we just don't know what happened from there. But we still love him.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Kerry Myers.
Good morning, Kerry Myers with Louisiana Parole Project. This board already knows Mr. Harris was 16 years old, addicted, had been addicted for some time before he committed these crimes. We also know that 16-year-olds and addiction can lead to some horrible consequences. We know why the brain science says that juveniles are different. But Mr. Harris, I think Ms. LaDuce said it correctly, 7 years ago, the light completely clicked on before he knew he was going to be parole eligible. And he rededicated his life spiritually. He worked very hard on his GED, his programs. Mr. Harris is now not a 16-year-old addicted child. He is a 64-year-old man who has served 46 years for these crimes. He has a support system. One of the things that will happen immediately, address any concerns that you may have about that, Mr. Freeman, is he will get an evaluation, substance abuse and mental health evaluation from our social work staff. And we'll make sure that any recommendations are followed through that. Not only that, after 46 years, from a 16-year-old now to a 64-year-old man, he's going to need the type of services that we can provide, that the in essence detoxification from the institutionalization that he's been involved in for the last 46 years. And that's what our program is absolutely geared to do. He will learn technology. He will, in steps, he will learn social norms, which are certainly different from when he entered prison. He will have the ability to continue to access our social work department. He will learn financial management. He is still healthy. He is still employable. He has employment waiting for him. His sister has offered him housing and has been supportive throughout this time. We're here to help him through that for as long as it needs to be. And once he's completed our program, Mr. Harris has a strong support system. So we would just ask this board to consider the fact that, you know, he is not the 16-year-old addicted child that committed these crimes. Regardless, you can't minimize any of the actions. They were horrific, but this is the whole capacity to grow and mature is the reason we're here today. And so we'd ask this board to consider all these factors today in making their decision.
Before I go to the subject and the lawyer, Warden Falco, do you have any comments you would like to make?
Yes, sir. Good morning. You know, you were talking about the history of Warren's record, and at one time he did have a Class A trustee status. He worked in beautification for us outside the fences for 8 years. Then in 15 lost that on a write-up, had that other write-up in 17. He's worked his way back up to a Class A again. When he did back in 2017, worked his way back up to a Min B, his job was a union supply stock clerk for us in the warehouse. He was responsible for a lot of inventory that was worth a lot of money, and those jobs are jobs that we will put inmates in that we can trust to the degree of, even with oversight, that they're going to do a good job for us. And he did that until 18, when he went into his full-time GED. And I think he was 6 times in his GED attempts, and finally there, and now he's a tutor. So yeah, he definitely in 17, as you guys stated, has done a good job in turning that corner and maintaining his process and his projection to where he is now. So his focus has changed.
Thank you, Warden.
Sure.
Okay, Mr. Harris, would you like to make a statement?
Yes, sir.
Ma'am?
Ms. Palmer hasn't spoken yet.
Oh, okay, I thought he had his speaker. Let's see. No, he hasn't. Ms. Palmer, would you like to speak?
Yes, sir. Thank you so much for this opportunity.
Yes, ma'am.
Good morning. I'm Warren Harris' baby sister, and we all were disobedient to our mother and our grandparents coming up. I was pregnant at 14. I was a grandmother at 40. And throughout the years, we all have turned our lives around and went back to the foundation on which we were brought up on, and that was the foundation of Jesus Christ. I have seen Warren grow throughout the years. We all were in prison those 47 years with Warren. Like I said, we were all disobedient as children, and I got pregnant. I was smoking weed. I was in an abusive relationship with my children's father. But throughout the years, we stayed connected. I had been going to the prison since I was 4 years old. Our father was in jail since 28. Our mother was abandoned by her first husband and then abused by our father, which was in jail for 28 years. Then Warren, he's been in there for 46, and my other brother, he's been back and forth for 15 years. So we've all returned back to the foundation on which we were brought up on. Thank God for that. I've seen Warren mature. He's helped me throughout the years. I've sent photos when photos were accepted. I've sent money throughout the years, visits throughout the years when our mother was living, now that she's gone. Now I'm a great-grandmother at the age of 60. So Warren has been like a father, uncle to my children, my grandchildren, and we lean on each other. When I go and visit, I don't just go to visit him. I go because I need him. He's been a support to me with the JPay and the emails. He encourages me. He sends me letters and prayers and so I'm here to be here for him till the day God calls us all home. I've seen a change in all of us, how we've changed our lives and living the way our parents really intended us to live. But I thank you all for this opportunity, and I thank my parents for raising us up in this faith base, because 47 years ago, this opportunity was not possible. But we prayed and asked God to forgive us of our sins and to have mercy upon us, to pity us and spare us. And so this day, He has made this day possible. And I thank you for the hope of it. And I thank you for the joy and just the confirmation.
Thank you, ma'am. Appreciate it. Okay, Ms. Floresca, you ready?
I'm ready.
Yes, ma'am.
Perhaps you wanted Warren to speak first. I wasn't sure.
However y'all want to do it. Usually the inmate speaks first, so it's up to you.
We can have Mr. Harris speak first.
Okay, Mr. Harris, your attorneys,
Yes.
want you to speak.
Thank you for allowing me this opportunity. This morning, I now have the opportunity to address the Savall family, Palmer family, and the Delano family. This matter should have been addressed years ago, but because of matters concerning contact, I was not able to do so. To each family member of the victims, I sincerely apologize for taking the lives of your loved ones. I'm truly sorry and regret what had happened 46 years ago. Your family has suffered many years missing someone very special who has been taken away from you. I'm truly sorry. During my years of incarceration, guilty feelings has gripped me deeply. My guilt has motivated me to call out to God, asking for His help, for change within myself. My prayer had been answered. God allowed me to reevaluate my life and set me out on a positive course. I become a servant, giving my time and the very little resources I have, helping those who cannot help themselves. I continue praying, asking God to give me the ability and to continue to allow me to be a positive influence to those around me. I'm truly sorry and regret the offense I had committed. I apologize to the community for these crimes were committed. I'm very sorry and very remorseful. I appreciate this opportunity that has been given me. Thank you, and God bless you.
Thank you. Now, Ms. Floresca, please.
Good morning. My name is Abigail Floresca, and I'm a student attorney at Loyola Law Clinic, representing Mr. Warren Harris. In 1977, Mr. Harris committed devastating, horrible crimes, taking the lives of multiple men and striking fear and pain throughout the community. As you've heard today, Mr. Harris is deeply remorseful and ashamed of his crimes, and he's carried that remorse with him every day for 46 years. In these 46 years, he's channeled that remorse into processing the harm he caused and becoming this mature, 63-year-old man he is now today. I know the board is well aware of Miller versus Alabama, how even children who commit heinous crimes still have the capacity to change. Mr. Harris is truly the personification of that ability to change. His life shows that when children are removed from abuse, drugs, violence, and dysfunction, they can become totally different. 16-year-old Warren ran the streets and didn't follow the rules, as you heard. 63-year-old Mr. Harris is a trustee and hasn't had a write-up in 7 years. 16-year-old Warren did all he could to numb himself with drugs. 63-year-old Mr. Harris finds peace and joy from singing in gospel bands like the Transformation Gospel Band, the Pure Heart Messengers. His favorite song to sing is Wind Beneath My Wings. 16-year-old Warren sat in his grandfather's church, nodding off high on heroin. 63-year-old Mr. Harris has earned 41 certificates for Bible studies and his contributions to ministries, such as the Leadership Builders. 16-year-old Warren took the lives of multiple men. 63-year-old Mr. Harris takes care of the elderly and the sick in hospice. 16-year-old Warren dropped out of the 8th grade and didn't see a future for himself. 63-year-old Mr. Harris spent 2 decades trying to get his high set, and when he finally earned his diploma, he immediately turned around and became a literacy tutor, helping others achieve the same thing that he did. Mr. Harris has earned a total of 56 certificates for programming and accomplishments throughout his time in prison, and he was dedicated to learning many years before Miller passed and parole was even a possibility. The board has asked about Mr. Harris's plan for recovery from addiction to drugs, given his history. And Mr. Harris has recognized that recovery is a lifelong process, and he will always be an addict, and that's always going to be a part of his life. But he's willing and ready to join Narcotics Anonymous meetings and anything else that the Parole Project is also going to support him with, finding those resources. I've included in the parole packet a list of local Narcotics Anonymous meetings in the area where he is going to be living. Should the board grant parole, Mr. Harris has the support of his family, his friends, and the Parole Project. As you've heard, the Parole Project is going to help him with reentry and everything that he's going to be needing, navigating, coming to the free worlds after 46 years. His sister Brenda has supported Mr. Harris his entire time in prison, visiting him, supporting him, and she's ready to give back to him as well. Mr. Harris is also hoping to give back, as you've heard, mentoring his 9 grandnieces and nephews, continuing to sing and worship, and doing landscaping, a passion he discovered while at Angola, striving to make the world around him more beautiful. The significance of Miller hearings is that children who have spent the majority of their lives incarcerated have the opportunity to show they've changed, and in 46 years, Mr. Harris has done just that. Today, he's a trustee, a man of faith, a literacy tutor, and a source of support to those around him. Pastor Savoy wrote, "He has a heart for people and a life that reaches those who seem to be unreachable." In light of the person that Mr. Harris is today, we urge the Honorable Board to grant Mr. Harris's parole. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay. Now we'll vote. Ms. Ledoux, since you have the case, you'll vote first.
Mr. Harris, you have to understand, all of us take this role very, very seriously. And I read all 200 pages of your file several times. And I've gone back and forth on this. Hearing you today was very insightful. You have a low risk assessment on the tools that we are provided with. You have good plans for your release. You have what I consider adequate institutional educational accomplishments. I can't change what you have done in taking the lives of those people. Many times I ask myself before I make a vote, would I live next door to this person? Would I be afraid to live next door to this person? Mr. Harris, there's still some things in your record that concern me, some of the write-ups that you've had, especially the 21s. Okay, I'll be honest. Okay.
21.
21. But at this point, after 47 years of incarceration, I believe that you're ready for the streets. And so my vote today is to grant parole, with the condition that the parole project tune in very carefully to your needs for your giving you the tools to make good decisions. Okay, so my vote is to grant.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Prater?
I've heard some very strong arguments and recommendations today, and I applaud you, Mr. Harris, for your growth and the accomplishments that you have accomplished. I think you're truly repentant of what you've done. I think we all have our mission fields in life. I'm a strong believer in that. I truly believe that your mission field is there at Angola, at Louisiana State Penitentiary. And it's similar to, I guess in my mind, it's similar to a person that might smoke and then develop cancer and then quit smoking. They still have the cancer. They still have to pay the price for what they did. And so having said all of that, and considering the fact that you were given 3 life sentences to run consecutively, my vote is to deny.
Okay, thank you. Okay, I looked at this, Mr. Harris, in a lot of ways. You were 16 years old when this occurred. You were on drugs real bad.
Yes.
That does not make any excuses for what you did. It was, like your lawyer said, it was a very horrific crime. But I do feel that you've done all you can do in Angola. That your work is done there, but you have plenty of work left. So my vote today is also going to be to grant to the parole project. Okay, Mr. Myers, I want him very thoroughly drug treatment. I want him to look at that closely. And if he needs inpatient treatment, you get back with us. Okay. Gonna do that. Also, I want you to have drug screens 2 times per month for the first 6 months. You fail any of those drug screens, I can promise you, you will be returned. And that's all the conditions I'm gonna put on you. I'm gonna let you off to put the rest. I thank your family for showing up here today, and your representatives. It meant a lot. Like your sister said, y'all need to all grow together.
Thank you, sir.
World's gonna be watching you, I can promise you. So be careful. That's my vote.
Congratulations.
I just have to say, Mr. Harris, it's very difficult to make these kind of choices, okay? And then I appreciate what you've done.
I understand. Thank you, ma'am.